welcome to another video, and this time what we are going to see is crew skills, what they are, or at least what I think they are, and how they affect your plane, how they affect your crew, and how do you want to develop them. At least how do I want to develop them, and what's my practice, how I do it, and maybe you want to do it my way, or maybe you want to do it other ways. But let's start by seeing the crew skills. As you can see, there are 4 tabs up there. One of them is pilot, second is gunners, third is ground service, and 4 is qualification. Finally, there's a little tab here, which is accelerated training, where you can use lions and expand lions to get pilot experience. Usually, the usual way to accumulate XP points is by flying your crews in battle, and to get them, to accumulate them, and then you spending on each one of the skills. The pilot skills affect only the pilot. The gunner's skill affect only the gunner. This is very important because I started by thinking that gunner accuracy and precision affected how the pilot fired the guns, and that's not true. We'll enter that later. Then there's ground service, which is how your ground crews affect your plane performance. And finally, there's qualification, which is the ability you have to get extra points in certain skills by experting or converting them in aces in a given plane. Those 3 tabs, pilot, gunners, and ground service, are always with your pilot. So this is unlike other free-to-play games like World of Tanks, where you train your crew for a specific tank, and if you want them to move on to another tank, you have to retrain them, and they won't be able to come back to the previous tank. They already knew how to drive. Each one of these crews, you're going to see it, has a series of planes they can fly based on if they are trained in the plane or not. If you want a given pilot or crew to be able to fly a given plane, you only have to train them in the little plane icon. And once you have done it, you don't have to pay for it anymore. You will be able to fly that plane forever without any penalty for the rest of the days, basically. So it's a one pay only thing. For low levels, it's very cheap, but for high levels, you can see that training a pilot for a plane can be very expensive. For a level 13 is 240,000 lions, which is a sizable amount. In each one of those planes, the pilot is trained to fly. These stats are going to be always the same, the basic ones. You see a little plus 30 there. That's because this particular crew is right now inside a Spitfire Mark II and is experted on that. It's an expert on that plane. You expert pilots by paying extra lions. So for instance, let's see this. I know I'm not experted on, sorry. Go back. You can see there's no plus 30 here because it's not an expert. So expert hit, I should go here and select where it is, Typhoon Mark 1A, which is 210,000 lions, which is a lot. It's very expensive. I usually don't ever expert any pilot in any plane which is over level 9 because costs become prohibitive. But do so if you want. Once your pilot is in basic training, you can turn them into expert by paying with eagles. We'll see more about that later, but basically you want the sweet point for me is the ground, the level, the basic skills. The expert and ace becoming handy but are very expensive. And also they need a particular crew level. For instance, here you can see that if I go to qualification, these are the planes this crew can fly. To turn them into expert, you need a given level, depends on the level of the plane, of the crew. As you are spending experience points, your crew level goes up. And you need a basic crew level to go from basic to expert, and then to expert to ace, depending on the plane you're flying. For instance, a Spitfire Mark II, which is a level 6, demands a level 460 to be able to convert into ace. Spitfire Mark 10, which is a level 10, Mark 9, sorry, which is a level 10, requires 500 crew level to be able to turn from expert to ace. But out of that, let's see which one of these skills is good and more necessary than the others. My particular approach to this particular thing is to use specific crews for bombers and specific crews for fighters. As for the way, you will see later. First, let's see the pilot skills. If you are flying a fighter, this is the only skills you want to invest them in, and in ground service. Don't spend them in gunners. Keen vision. This skill affects the pilot's visual range in the direction he's looking. EI. The maximum distances at which he can detect the enemy. Basically, what this means is that in the direction you are looking at during the battle, this is how far you can see enemy planes and see them popping up with an icon. So the bigger this is, the farthest you'll see in the direction you're seeing. Visibility. This skill influences the visibility range around the aircraft. Well, there's a little controversial topic around this skill, and we actually don't really know, at least I don't, what this skill does. I do think that this is the visibility of the pilot all around his plane in the direction he's not looking at. Just imagine I'm looking forward, and I think that visibility determines how far you see in the directions your screen is not looking at. So the bigger this is, the larger icon range you are going to have, and the planes are going to show in the minimap in the upper right side of the screen in battle. Some people say that visibility is like stealth, and that the higher you go here, the less visible your plane turns to be. In my experience, that's not the way it works, and I don't think so, but I could be wrong, so take my interpretation with a grain of salt. I think this is the visibility range in the direction you're not looking at. G tolerance. Tolerance of positive and negative G forces. In the same mode, this skill affects control accuracy of the aircraft. Well, basically what this means is that when you are pulling a lot of G's in a very high speed pullout, for instance, your pilot will lose visibility and your screen will turn black. With high G tolerance, this means that you can pull higher G's without a bad effect, and also means that you can keep your control of the aircraft better at high skills than at lower skills. So yeah, that's it. Stamina. This skill allows the crew to resist fatigue for a long period of time. The accuracy and G tolerance gradually decrease depending on the time spent in the session and the number of G forces sustained. So basically, the higher this goes, the longer the other stats stand up before degrading, because they degrade with time. The longer you are up in the sky, these three will go down slowly. And if you start pulling a lot of G's, they'll go down very fast. So the higher the stamina, the longer they last, and the more G's you are allowed to pull without the crew training, being strained, being tired. Vitality, the health of the crew members as well as the speed of the recovery if they are wounded. Well, for the pilot, basically this determines if they are going to be easily or very hard to kill with a cockpit shot. If someone puts some rounds in your cockpit, they might kill your pilot, and if they kill your pilot, it's game over. You have to get out of the plane. So the higher this goes, the more they stand. For the gunners, let's take a look at a bomber crew, which actually is this one for the British in my case. Gunners. Number of experienced gunners from 1 to 10. In a normal plane, in a fighter, you have 1, which is the pilot. So that's it. But as the number goes up, you will have more gunners. And why is this important? Well, as you can see, view crew 4, current country Britain, current aircraft Wellington Mark 10, number of gunners 4. This means that this plane, this particular plane, has 4 positions for defensive gunners. So you need 4 crew members to man them. If you have more gunners than required, there's no big problem. If you have less than them, all these other stats will suffer. All these other stats will suffer a decrease. So, for instance, if I only had 1 gunner for the Wellington Mark 10, all these stats would have a negative penalty. So you want to have as many gunners as is in here. Number of gunners 4. Let's see if I change the plane. We go to Beaufort. You'll see. You'll see that the number of gunners is lower. So for the Beaufort we only need 2 gunners, but for the Wellington we need 4. As for the rest of the skills, G tolerance, stamina, and vitality is the same as in the pilot. The higher G tolerance, the better they will fire during a pull-out. The higher the stamina, the more they retain their accuracy and precision and G tolerance during time. And vitality, the harder they become to kill. Fire accuracy is the accuracy of the aircraft gunners fire. So the higher you go, the more accurate the AI is going to be. Fire precision. This skill reduces how scattered the gunner's fire is. Well, if you have a lot of accuracy but low precision, what you are going to end up is with a very wide cone of fire, which is pretty much around the enemy fighter or plane that is attacking you. But it's not very precise and it's going to be very dispersed. So, and if you have a lot of precision but no accuracy, they will fire very tight cones of fire, but in totally wrong directions. So that's what this to do. Ground service, repair speed, the mechanic's skill, the rate at which the aircraft is repaired in the hangar and at the airfield. The higher you have here, the faster your free repairs become. This is also affected by repair rank, we'll see it now. But also, if you are in the middle of a battle and you come back to base and land, you can repair there. And the higher the repair speed, the lesser time you'll need on the airbase to repair fully and be able to take off again, totally repaired. Repair rank, the mechanic's skill, the maximum rank of aircraft that the mechanic can repair. This affects only free repairs. So if you lose a plane in a battle and you come out of the battle and you don't want to pay to repair it, you can leave it with the crew, so it's repaired for free. But unless the repair rank of the crew is higher or the same as the level of the aircraft, this stat won't affect the free repairs. So if I have, for instance, Beaufort Mark, let's see, no, here, this one I have a level 9. This level 9, if I lose this plane in a battle and I come out of the battle and I choose not to repair it, the repair time to repair is much lower if you have a high repair speed skill, and if the plane level is under the repair rank. For instance, the Spitfire Mark II is a level 6. I have a level 9 rank. So yeah, this is going to affect how fast this is repairable for free. But if I go, I select the Mark 9, I have a repair rank of 9, but the Spitfire Mark 9 is level 10. So in this case, I don't get any bonus from my repair skill and until this repair rank is up at least to 10. I hope I made myself understood. Reload speed. The armor skill. The rate at which the weapons are reloaded in the air at the airfield. So if you are in arcade, you can reload in the air. And the higher this skill is, the less time you are going to need to reload. Sorry. Also, if you come back to base and land, you'll get reloaded as well as repaired. So the higher reload, the less time you need to reload your plane at the airfield. This is very important, very important in arcade, and loses a little bit of importance in historical patterns and full real. Because there, well, the air bases are much farther up the maps, and usually you don't expect enemies around there, so you can spend a lot of time on the strip without any problem. And also, in those modes, you don't reload in the air. But for arcade, this skill is very important. And finally, healing speed, the medic's skill, the rate at which pilots and gunners who are wounded are healed. If you totally lose a plane, like totally, you crash with the crew on board, your crew is killed in that plane. So the repair costs go up, and the repair the time to repair for free goes up as well. If you have a healing speed, a high level skill in this, they will repair faster than if you don't. If you have bailed out from the aircraft, the crew is still alive, so this doesn't apply. So those are all the skills. How do I develop my crews? I basically want to get them more or less balanced in more of the skills. For instance, I try to keep vision and visibility more or less within 5 skill points of each other. G tolerance and stamina within 10 points of each other, and vitality I try to put it at 70 and then spend some points to keep it going up until it's 100%, of course. Basically, I like to balance my crew. I'm not going to put everything in G tolerance and nothing in stamina, for instance. Why? Because then I get a lot of G tolerance at the start of the game, but if I survive for a lot of time, and I intend to do so, I try to survive a lot in all my planes, then this will be worthless because I have no stamina. Keen vision and visibility. Well, I can have a very good view the way I'm looking at, but if I can't see in the minimap what's around me or behind me, that's a very high risk. So I try to level them up at the same rate, more or less. With the gunners, I always go for fire accuracy first, up to the top, fire precision up to at least half, and then engine tolerance, stamina, and vitality more or less until the half, and then focus on whatever is left to go up to 100%. Ground service, reload speed and repair speed to 25. And after that, reload the speed until it's 35 or something like that, then repair speed until it's 35, then 50, and then 50. That's how I do it. Of course, you might want to do it whatever way you think you want to do so, but don't commit this mistake. I'm using this crew exactly for that reason. In this crew, I started the game and thought that fire accuracy and fire precision would affect the way the pilot fires. No. Actually, this doesn't even affect the way you fire in the turrets in a bomber. If you man the turrets and if you fire your defensive guns yourself, these two stats don't work. This is for EA only. Okay? And finally, what does the qualification do? Well, as you can see, this is my most used crew in the German trajectory. You can perfectly see that. They are pretty much fully developed, except for the repair speed, for the repair rank and healing speed, and some G tolerances, which I'm going to develop right now. By the way, apply. Okay. Well, this is my best crew. Why is my best crew? Well, it's my Focke-Wulf 190 A5 crew. You can see it there, and my Focke-Wulf D12 crew. and those two planes I do very well in, so I get a lot of XP from them, and also I developed it using some lions. But we are looking at what does qualification do. As you can see, I have a Henkel 51A1, and I'm not expert or ace or whatever in that. So I have my basic skills. Okay. If I go for qualification and from basic I want to become an expert, I can pay 1000. I say yes, and now I'm expert in this. You can see now I have a bonus in keen vision, in visibility, in repair speed, and in reload speed. Those are the 4 items that help qualifications. As for canners, you get accuracy and precision bonus only, nothing else. Okay, only this and this. If I go one step forward and I say, hey, I want to become an expert, it's 10 eagles, it's not a lot, it's a reserve aircraft. I say, okay, let's go to ace. What happens then? Then it's a plus 50 in keen vision, visibility, fire accuracy, fire precision, repair speed, and reload speed. This is very important because if you notice the ranks, how they go, you can see stamina, G tolerance, vitality go up to 100, but visibility and keen vision only go up to 50. The only way to reach 100% in this is to go experting and acing your pilots. Same with ground service. The only way you get 100% is in repair speed and reload speed is by becoming expert and then an ace. And same with the gunners. Fire accuracy, fire precision, you are only going to get them up to 100% by being an ace. Is that so important? Well, personally, I think that no. No, because you just adjust to it while you are flying. Look at it, this is my most used plane in the German trajectory, the Focke-Wulf-Panini A5. Do I have it elited? No. I don't have it even experted. Why is that? Because it's very expensive, and quite honestly, plus 30 in keen vision and visibility are going to help. But for the gunners, no. And for the ground service, well, I mean, sure, it'd be cool, but I mean, I can do without them. Well, first of all, because each time I lose this plane, I pay for it to repair it, so I don't care about free repairs in this plane. Second of all, because with 50 repair speed, you actually repair pretty fast on a landing strip, and with 50 reload speed, you reload very fast your cannons. So no, I don't go. And besides, I should pay almost $1 million to spare my A5, and I'm not doing that. And if I want to spare my D12, it's almost $1.5 million. I'm not going to pay for that. I mean, whatever I'm lacking here, I'm putting up by myself, by keeping my situational awareness and by being careful. So, well, of course, well, for lower tiers, I mean, maybe level 6, you might want to do it. Why? Because the expert qualification for a level 6 is not as expensive as in a high level tier. So basically, I usually draw a line around level 8 or 9, and I try to expert the pilots down those levels, but over that I never do so, because it's super expensive and I don't really think it's worth it. So well, that's all for this video. This is all for the crew skill video. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a bit, and hope it was worth looking. As always, thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you later.